Everyone, so I just went through the ridiculous process of depositing a check at a bank. It's insane. I cannot believe the current banking system works the way it does. It was a refund check from my 2023 taxes. It's like the end of 2024, but such is life with the government. So I get a refund check. I want to deposit it, and I decided to do it in person because I want to buy Bitcoin with the refund check as fast as conceivably possible. And if I take a picture of the check and authenticate it that way, I assume it's going to take longer because typically it takes a while if you submit an image of a check for them to go authenticate it and validate it and before the money actually shows up in your account. So I thought, I'll just go by the bank and, I'll just go by the bank. I'll deposit a check. So, of course, before I leave home, I got to go get Rachel to sign the check because it's got both of our names on it. So Rachel signs the check and then I sign the check. And then, of course, you have to have your account number written on the check because apparently they can't figure out what your account is by your last name, even though that's the only account number, account in my name. So anyway, so I go to the bank. Of course, the live person teller window is three or four cars backed up. And so I decided to go on the teller window, that's got the little suction thing, the vacuum tube thing. So I have the check and I stick it in there and I suction tube it over to them and I write on it deposit because I want to deposit the check. This is not hard. I want to deposit the check. Well, so they come on the little live feed monitor and they're like, what would you like to do? I was like, I'd like to deposit the check. They're like, well, you have to fill out a deposit slip. I'm like, well, the check has my name on it and the name on the check matches exactly the name on the account. And the teller's like, well, we need a deposit slip anyway. I was like, even though I'm depositing into an account that matches exactly the name on the check, like, how could I possibly fraudulently do something? I'm depositing a check with my name on it, with my account number on it, into a bank account with my name on it, with my account number on it. Like, why do you need a deposit slip that tells you what you already know? So they said we can't deposit it. We cannot deposit it without a deposit slip. Okay, so they have to send me a deposit slip and my check back through the suction tube thing, and I fill out the deposit slip. So what do I put on the deposit slip? I put the date. They already know the date. I put my name. They already know my name because my name is on the check. Then I have to put the amount. They already know the amount because the amount is on the check. Then I have to put my address. They already know my address because my address is written the check. So I spend, 3 minutes. I can't find anything flat to write on. Who writes on stuff in their car these days? I can't find anything flat to write on. So I spend, I don't know, 2, 3 minutes transcribing information that's already on the check that I vacuum tubed over to them, that they have now vacuum tubed back to me with a blank deposit slip. I transcribe information that's already on the check over to the deposit slip and over to them. And then people are waiting in line behind me at this point, and everybody's waiting. And I'm thinking, how on earth does our banking system, like, how does anybody put up with this? Once you've interacted with Bitcoin and you can send any amount of money anywhere in the world in 10 minutes, completely without dealing with any of this, it's like, how on earth does anybody put up with this? How are there lines of cars at every bank drive through with people going like zombies to use the old system? Like, this cannot be the way finance is supposed to work in the world. And in the case of my local bank, come on, people. If all the information that you need is already on the check, shove it in your machine and let it read my name, my my address, the date, the amount. Let it read it off the check. And if it reads it off the check and it matches everything that's already on my account, just process the deposit. Why on earth does it make sense for me to put all of the information that's already on the check also onto a deposit slip that now mirrors what's on the check? It's the dumbest thing on the planet. So every time I have to deal with the traditional banking system, I think I just pull my hair out. I'm like, this is crazy. Now, of course, the bank, it's not even your money. Like, legally, when you give money to in a bank, it's not yours anymore. You've basically given it to the bank to custody for you, and it's supposedly FDIC insured up to $250,000 with a government guarantee. But it's the bank's money to do whatever they want with. It's not really your money, and it's not really at the bank because they're going to turn around and they're going to loan it out to somebody. Except in my case, they're not going to loan it out to somebody because the literal second that US dollar value shows up in my bank account, I am sucking it out to Coinbase and buying Bitcoin where I don't have to put up with any of this stupidity. So the bank is going to serve that purpose for all of 5 seconds before that dollar value ends up in Bitcoin. And if the IRS would let me direct deposit into straight into Bitcoin, I would do that. So I didn't even have to deal with a physical check from the government. And I wouldn't even have to deal with going to the bank and filling out a stupid deposit slip with information that in this case was 100% already on the check. Now, look, I get it. If somebody writes me a check and my information's not on it, make me do a deposit slip. But in this case, they already have the check because I already sent it to them. They could see that the check had all the information: my name, my address, my deposit, my account number, the date, all of that they already had before they shipped my check and a blank deposit slip back to me and forced everybody in line to wait while we went through the ridiculous, stupid routine associated with the traditional banking system. It's insane. I can't believe anybody puts up with it. And I try not to, except in extreme situations like this, where I get a government check in the mail on a tax refund, and I'm trying to figure out how do I get this converted to Bitcoin as fast as conceivably possible. And I presume, wrong or right, that the fastest way to do that is to drive to the bank like an idiot to deposit a paper check in the hopes that maybe if they physically hold the check, that they will unlock that money faster than if I took a picture of it on my phone, which is probably going to take a day or two or three before they actually clear that money in my account. So we'll see how long it takes for that government check to clear. It's got my name on it. It's got my address. It's got my account number. It's got everything I need. Hopefully, they'll let me have that money as soon as possible so I can convert it from US dollars into Bitcoin and hopefully not have to deal with my local bank again for as long as conceivably possible. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks.